Operations and Reports. When the Operations tag is selected, the initial screen is the Report of Operations and Report section. What the administrator can do in this section are mainly transaction operations and generation of reports. The menu is divided into two parts. First, the operation shows. It contains the transaction details, schedule payment, and e-statement. Second, the reports. The reports contains sales report, refund report, chargeback report, transaction summary report. Transaction detail. This search engine function provides Peso Pay merchants a powerful and flexible transaction searching and reporting based on the specified selection and sorting criteria. The search transaction details can also be downloaded to CSV format for recording and other processing reference, for example, creating an Excel file report. The first page of the transaction detail is to define selection criteria output. Steps of searching the transactions. Step 1. Define searching criteria. There are a number of selection criteria for searching. The logic of search is AND, for example, combination of all the fields. Leaving the field blank and selection to all will return all records. By default, only today's transactions will be returned. Step 2. Output sorting and fields to display. Output can be sorted by any of the criteria, ascending order or descending order. By default, the returned records are sorted by the field selected, such as transaction date, in descending order. Step 3. Submit search. Click Submit button to start searching. In order to provide a detailed picture to transaction detail, there are descriptions of each selection criteria and output fields in the following tables. Selection criteria of transaction detail. Transaction date. The parameters are from date and to date. MN means month, DD means day, YY means year, HR means hour, min means minutes. Default value is today. Check from only to define the beginning date of the search and check to only to define the end date of search. Uncheck both from and to returns all transactions. Currency and amount. The parameters are currency, selection, and the range of amount, which is float. It is the currency of transaction and amount or range of amount. Payment method is the list of payment methods. Order status. The parameters are: accepted is the successful sales transaction. Rejected is the unsuccessful sales transaction. Voided is the cancellation of successful transaction before settlement by merchant. Reverse auth is the cancellation of successful authorized transaction. Cancelled means canceled payment by customer. Pending 3D is the transaction waiting for the completion of 3D secure authentication process. Capturing is the transaction waiting for the completion of the capture process. Payment reference number is a unique number generated by Peso Pay platform. Separate by comma for more than one entry. Merchant reference number is the merchant submitted reference. Searching output of transaction detail. Transaction date is the date of transaction. Merchant reference number is the submitted reference by merchant. Payment reference number is the Peso Pay generated unique number of each payment transaction. Payment method is the method of payment, for example, Visa or MasterCard. Status means payment status. Card number is the credit card account number. Holder name is the credit card's holder name. Currency is the currency of the transaction. Amount is the amount of the transaction. Payer IP is the IP address of transaction. Remark is the remark submitted by merchant. Master Pay Ref is the reference number to payment reference when there is modification. Original amount is the original amount of transaction when there is a modification during capture process. Data feed is result of the data feed process. T means successfully get response from merchant's defined data feed page. F means fail to get response from merchant's defined data feed page or error occurs. Data feed return is the acknowledged printout received from the merchant's defined data feed page. Auth ID is the approval code. Reject reason is the reason for rejecting transaction. Screening function is the merchant level card. Number/IP address screening facility. Capture date is the date of capture process for authorized transaction only. Card verification number is the card verification number indicator. T means cardholder is willing to provide it. F means cardholder is not willing to provide it. Applicable for merchants who have enabled CVV/CVC checking function only. Payer auth is the 3D payer authentication. Reference data. Payer authentication status is the 3D payer authentication status. Y means successful authentication. M means fail authentication. A means attempts. Processing. U means unavailable to authenticate. Payer response code is the response code of the authentication process. Payer response detail is the response code's description. When the searching is finished, the result will be generated as shown in the screen. Transaction detail search result. There is an action column on the leftmost of the page which may contain any of these four buttons: void, refund, capture, and reverse. The void and refund actions are cancellation of successful payment, while reverse action is cancellation of successful authorized payment, and capture action is confirmation of the payment, and the amount will be debited from the credit card amount once the capture action is taken. Success payment with debit. Void is available before daily settlement. Refund is available within 14 days from the transaction. Successfully authorized payment without debit. Capture is available within 14 days from the transaction depending on the acquiring bank. Reverse is available within 14 days from the transaction dependent on the payment bank. Void, refund, reverse, and capture transaction. The above screen is opened when the void button, refund button, or reverse button is clicked. In this page, the detailed transaction information is shown. To confirm the action, click the confirm button to continue. If unsure or do not want to proceed, click the cancel button. For capture transaction, the below screen is open when the capture button is clicked, and the amount to be captured can be adjusted to be smaller or equal to the original amount. Screening function. If the screening function box is checked as one of the searching output field in the report, a screening column is added to the leftmost of the page which contains a screening button. Once the screening button is clicked, the above page is open to facilitate the screening function. It allows making the following screening effects. Screen the credit card number means further transaction with that credit card number will be blocked. Screen the IP address means further transaction from that IP address will be blocked. Both of the above items means further transaction either with that credit card number or from that IP address will be blocked. To confirm the action, click the confirm button to continue. If not sure or do not want to proceed, click the cancel button. A screening management function is available under the services tag for review or deletion of the current screening item. Details of this function will be described in the later Services Center section.